All right, so let's get into a fresh batch, post-free agency edition, NFL Power Rankings, my top 10. Let's get to it. Number 10, the Los Angeles Chargers. I'm buying into this team. I like what they have done so far. So it starts with the edge rushing position with me. Melvin Ingram and Joey Bosa is an elite duo on the edge. Those two are fantastic. And then you have the secondary, especially the cornerback position, that is really, really good. Casey Hayward, the best cornerback according to Pro Football Focus a year ago. Trevor Williams had a great year as well. Jason Verrett coming back from injury. We'll see what happens with Trey Boston. He is a free agent, and the safety market has been somewhat slow. But I really like the Chargers here. So I think they're going to be a team that's certainly going to be reckoned with in the AFC. The offensive line is a priority, but they've got two young guards here in Forrest Lamp, Dan Feeney as well, room to grow. They'll be playing with new additions as well. Center, Mike Pouncey recently signed with them. I think he'll provide some stability there in the middle of that offensive line. You got the addition of Virgil Green, who's primarily a run blocker, which tells me that the Chargers want to be a balanced offense. And if they have that balanced offense in 2018, I think they're going to be really, really good. And it starts with running the football effectively and creating lanes in the interior for Melvin Gordon. Austin Eckler showed some promise as well last year. I'm going to be interested to see how Mike Williams performs in 2018 as well. Kind of some question marks with him last year, a few injuries, and so on. But the Chargers at number 10, I'm thinking that's a controversial pick, so be sure to let me know in the comments section if you disagree. And by the way, I'm going to save you guys all the time in the world in terms of comments, so I'm already going to say it out loud. Cam Rodgers is a moron, is an idiot, and probably doesn't know how to put on a football helmet. Good, did I cover everything? All right, you don't have to leave the comments there anymore. All right, let's go to number 9 here in my rankings. The 49ers. I am so buying into this team, guys. Been covering them. Of course, I'm the host of the 49ers Report here at Chat Sports. Jimmy Garoppolo gets paid. He's the answer. He's the franchise. Check. Secondary, especially a cornerback opposite Akella Witherspoon. Check. Richard Sherman. Address the interior of that offensive line. I'll give that a half check. Weston Richburg comes in. He'll play center. Kilgore got traded to the Dolphins. Still have some questions at the guard position. I'm curious to see how Joshua Garnett and Lincoln Tomlinson play. Tomlinson was not very good a year ago. We haven't seen much of Garnett. So that's something to monitor. The Reuben Foster situation is worth watching as well. Maybe it wouldn't be a bad idea to draft Tremaine Edmonds or Roquan Smith as some insurance here because Reuben Foster, that legal situation is concerning me. Now, the one thing with the 49ers, they're going to have to improve their pass rush. Solomon Thomas has mentioned it before. He wants to work on it, and he's going to try to become a better edge rusher at times. So we'll see what happens there. I like the 49ers a lot. I think they have the secondary that low-key can perform really well. I have a few questions about, again, rushing the passer. But the offense will be solid. You got Jerick McKinnon, Joe Williams, a young running back there, Matt Breida, too. I think they're going to be a balanced O, especially with Marquise Goodwin and Pierre Garçon on the outside as well. Pretty solid duo there at wide receiver. All right, let's go into number 8 in my post-free agency power rankings, the Atlanta Falcons. And Atlanta has been fairly quiet this free agency period, and you know what? I'm okay with that. They don't really have too many weaknesses, so they didn't have to go crazy here. It is tough to see Adrian Claiborne walk. He goes to the New England Patriots. Not the worst thing in the world, though. They did address guard, a position of need, if there is one out there for them. They signed Brandon Fusco, who's a quality guard. I think he probably will replace incumbent Wes Schweitzer there. Then you got Levitre at the other guard position, so pretty solid there at this point. And I think the Falcons can have some fun in this draft, guys. I really do, because they don't necessarily have to draft for need because they don't have many needs out there. They can take some risks, roll the dice a few times. Now, at the end of the day with the Falcons, it comes down to playoff performances and Matt Ryan. Can Matt Ryan get it done in crunch time? So that's my big-time question mark about the Atlanta Falcons. Mitchell Wren's chiming in the comments section. Where are the Steelers ranked? Got you covered, my man. Let's go to number 7. With that, the Pittsburgh Steelers check in. And Steelers fans, I'm sorry, you're lucky that they're at number 7. So here's the deal with that. This Le'Veon Bell saga is a big-time shame. And I blame the Steelers' leadership for not being able to figure things out in terms of a long-term deal. They have time. I understand that. They have until July 16th, which is the deadline. But the fact that they still haven't gotten any sort of progress is amazing to me. At least I haven't heard of any. Ben Roethlisberger's decline is coming. It may not be 2018, but it's coming soon. And we saw flashes of it last year. And he even said it. Like, remember after that first Jaguars game, the 5 interceptions? He said to the media, maybe I don't have it anymore. Okay? I'm just saying. John Bostic, that was a nice signing there. He comes in at inside linebacker, solid player. He's kind of more of a bridge guy for a potential rookie linebacker there for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Maybe they get Malik Jefferson. I don't know where they're going to go in that first round, but they're going to look at inside linebacker there. Added Morgan Burnett to the secondary, which I like a lot. But again, Steelers fans, I don't know what to expect from Ben Roethlisberger, so that's what it all comes down to for me. And then in terms of competition in the AFC, the Steelers have already proved to us, guys, they can't beat New England and they can't beat Jacksonville. So why the heck should I have them ahead of any other AFC or ahead of the Jaguars or the Patriots? And I'm telling you, the NFC is really deep, and I'll talk about that as I go through these rankings here. So that's why I've got the Steelers at number 7. So in a way, it's almost a little bit of a generous ranking there. All right, let's go to number 6. Speaking of those Jacksonville Jaguars. And as an offensive line enthusiast here, I got to start things off with, I love the signing of Andrew Norwell. Love, love, love. The best guard in free agency. The guy is fantastic in pass protection. He's a road grader and run blocking. Really going to help the guard position for the Jaguars with an offensive line that really wasn't very good a year ago. They have to get better play from A.J. Cann at the other guard spot. He did not play all that well a year ago. Yeah, losing Allen Robinson stinks and all that, and honestly, I kind of expected him to move on. This is hardly surprising. The Jags didn't have the most cap space in the world to keep him. So the Jags, they've retooled their offense. They got ASJ, Niles Paul as well at tight end. Dante Moncrief comes on in. I love Moncrief, by the way. The guy hasn't gotten a fair shake because the Colts, their quarterback play has stunk due to Andrew Luck's injuries. So I think he'll be a nice option there for Blake Bortles. Here's what I'm going to say about the Jaguars. No excuses for Blake Bortles. It's all there on that offensive side for him to perform. So we'll see what happens with the offensive side. The defensive side, still very scary. I think that secondary is continuing to improve. I think they will be fantastic in 2018. Yeah, you lose Aaron Colvin, the slot corner there, but that's okay. They added some depth with DJ Hayden and Cody Davis in the back end there. The problem with the Jags and the Steelers is they can't get past Goliath, and Goliath would be the New England Patriots in the AFC. They are at number 5. The NFC, guys, is eons above the New England Patriots, okay? They just are. I'm going to go through 4 NFC teams the rest of the way after these Patriots. So New England, losing Nate Solder is the big-time headline for me. You're going to have LeAdrian Waddle play left tackle? Are you kidding me? And when the Patriots play like the Jaguars in the playoffs again, or the Steelers that can rush the passer, the Patriots are going to struggle because pass protection is going to be a concern. And I don't know if they're going to be able to run the football effectively either. They lose Dion Lewis, right? Who's going to be their lead dog? Jeremy Hill, who they just signed. We know what Jeremy Hill can do, and it's not a lot. Also, I have questions about Shaq Mason, Joe Thuney as well at the guard position. Tom Brady is going to have to do a million 3-step drops to save his butt from getting hit every time, essentially, by these edge rushers, by these pass rushers from opposing defenses. So the New England Patriots check in at number 5. Let's go to number 4. My Super Bowl pick going into the playoffs last year, the Minnesota Vikings. Love this team. Love, love, love it. For a few reasons. One, that defense is unreal. Insert Sheldon Richardson, now with Everson Griffin, Linval Joseph, Anthony Barr. You got Harrison Smith on that back end. Are you kidding me? Find a weakness on that defense. I challenge you. Then there's Kirk Cousins, the $84 million guaranteed money man. I actually think he's going to thrive really well with offensive coordinator John DeFilippo, former quarterbacks coach there of the Philadelphia Eagles, who did such a great job with Carson Wentz and Nick Foles. I think he will continue his fantastic coaching with Kirk Cousins. So the offense is going to look pretty darn good. Oh, yeah, that Dalvin Cook guy is coming back as well, so keep an eye on that one. You got 2 great receivers in Stephon Diggs and Adam Thielen, so watching out for that. the Vikings are going to be a force. It's really hard to rank these next 4 teams, guys, I'm telling you. So very small differential between the Vikings and the next 3 teams that I talk about. So let's go to number 3, the LA Rams. And if I am going to go on my soapbox here, I might say the Rams are going to win the NFC and go to the Super Bowl next year. I'm not going to lay that down as a hard prediction yet because it's too early to make predictions, but there's a very, very real chance that the Rams make this happen and they go to the Super Bowl. Secondary's unreal, maybe the best in the NFC. You got Talib, you got Peters, John Johnson at safety, LaMarcus Joyner coming back, Wade Phillips, the best defensive coordinator in my eyes in the league. So you got the defense all set, and oh, by the way, they had the #1 scoring offense last year. So it's all right there for the Rams, a really balanced team. You got Offensive Player of the Year, Todd Gurley, as that centerpiece there on the offensive side. So, like the Rams a lot, ladies and gentlemen, they check in at number 3. Let's go to number 2, the New Orleans Saints. So, speaking of great secondaries, we've got a good one right here, especially with the addition of Patrick Robinson. You see it on your screen, A-plus signing. So, you got Ken Crawley, you got Marshawn Lattimore, and now Patrick Robinson playing the slot corner position. I don't know how you throw the football against the Saints. Then you look at the offensive side. You have 2 prolific running backs in Mark Ingram and Alvin Kamara who were so good a year ago. And the best part about this is, for Saints fans, those running backs take the pressure off of Drew Brees, who is not getting any younger. So I think that's a great thing to keep Brees' arm fresh, utilizing that run game, using Kamara out in space. Then you see there, re-signing Alex Okafor. I think that's a low-key, really important re-signing there for the New Orleans Saints. And it's too bad they didn't get Jimmy Graham. I think that would have sent them over the top. I might have put them at number 1 if they got Jimmy Graham for that reunion there. But still, I think the Saints are going to be a big-time force in the NFL next season, most certainly in the NFC. So the Saints looking pretty darn good at this juncture. They check in at number 2, which means the number 1 team in my power rankings, the Philadelphia Eagles. So I am of the cloth that follows the logic of you got to put the Super Bowl champions at number 1 in the offseason. You have to, because why would you move them out unless they literally cut every single player and have to retool their entire roster? There's no reason to put the Eagles anywhere but number 1. So after winning the Super Bowl, guys, you see these headlines that, a lot of the players leave to get paid and there's some complacency, Super Bowl hangover. I don't see it with the Eagles. That defensive line is unreal. Timmy Jernigan, Fletcher Cox, Michael Bennett coming on over. Haloti Ngata as well. Added some depth to the secondary with Darryl Worley. Plus, they bring in Mike Wallace recently. But the key here, Carson Wentz coming back. If last year was any indication, he'll be playing at a very high level yet again. So did your team miss the top 10? Be sure to ask me where I have your team. Hit me up on Twitter at MrRogers99. I'll let you know. Maybe throw a comment in the comment section on Facebook Live or YouTube, and I'll be sure to answer any requests that you guys have out there. And if you want to sling a couple insults at me too, humble me a little bit, sure, go ahead. All right, so hit me up in the comment section. We do appreciate when you guys weigh in. Let's recap my top 10 power rankings. Jaguars, Steelers, Falcons, 49ers, and then Chargers 6 through 10 there. 1 through 5, Eagles, the defending champs, the Saints, the Rams, love that team. Vikings, love them a lot. New England Patriots, question marks, got them at number 5.